Hello guys, my name is Philip, and it's been 60 days now with NoFap. It's my second milestone, my 2 months update. I've actually been writing a script for this one. For the first time in my NoFap history, I've written a script for my NoFap vlog. And the reason for that is because I really just want to clear a few things off about what has happened in the past that I've been talking about so far on my in my NoFap vlogs. That you guys, if you've been watching every one of my NoFap videos, you may be wondering about a few things that I want to clear off in this video. So I want to start from the top. Okay, day 25, right? That's when I talked about how this is really just because I'm curious, and how day 20, I've written down here, day 22 to day 32 being the hardest time of NoFap, and still to this date I have to say that that's still the hardest time. I have not gone through a harder time than between day 22 and day 32, because that's for me it feels like that's the point where you haven't really started getting a lot of benefits from NoFap, but you've been doing it for long enough to have built up so much sexual energy, so you have a lot of sexual energy, or aka horniness, and you can't really see much benefits from NoFap because you haven't really gotten them yet, and so you get a sort of negative state of mind where this is not really worth it. I'm just gonna fap because it feels good. And of course, since you're so horny, your instincts also kick in, and you go, well, I'm gonna fap because it's obvious, because that's what my male instinct is telling me to do, and I can't see any benefits from NoFap so far. So that's really your mind, your brain on day 22 to day 32. So still to this date, that's the hardest period. And talked about how I had not been getting any wet dreams. I have still not been getting any wet dreams, and that I was only doing this because I'm curious. That has changed. I am now doing this for more than just curiosity, because I can really feel the benefits of it now. I can really feel it to the bone. I not only just know it, but I feel it. I understand it with my whole body. And day 28, I talked about the date I was on. Yeah, I want to talk about that. I did go on a second date with her, and it was shit. It was horrible. So what really happened was I went to this place that was 2 hours away from where I live, and then when I arrived there, I had to wait for her for like 3 hours, and like she fuck. Alright, so just to give you guys a picture of how fucking rude this is, I had to take the train for 2 hours to get there. When I got there, I had to wait for 3 hours. And this was on my one of my very few precious days off that I had in this period of hard work. And when I finally met her, she just acted really weird. Like, she didn't want to talk to me at all. She just talked with her friends all the time. If I asked her about how her day was or anything like that, just try to sort of begin a sort of conversation, she would just give me these really, really short answers and quickly look the other way. Like, give me a short answer, look the other way. And I was like, holy shit, this is really cold behavior, and I have no idea why. Because just yesterday, in fact, just today, we were like sending each other cute text messages. And now in real life, she's like fucking ice cold. So what I did was really, I just didn't meet her again. I was just like, well, fuck this bitch. She's useless. I'm sorry to be so crude, but I have never felt so disrespected in my whole fucking life. I spent 5 hours just to meet her, and she did not value my time at all. She didn't value my appearance. What do you call it? She didn't appreciate the fact that I was there, even. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, she didn't... It was almost as if she tried to ignore me. And it was supposed to be our date. So that's like, what the fuck? What the flying fuck? So that's what happened to that. Never saw her again. Don't even really care. I had high expectations for her. I have to be honest, I did have high expectations for her because of the really good connection we got on the first date. But the second date destroyed everything, and there's nothing now. Eyes. I want to talk about eyes. This is very interesting because I did get compliments about my eyes from this one of my date's friends that I was talking about in day 28. She was complimenting my eyes, and in day 53 I talked about the 1,000 cock eyes, that women who are have been sluts for a long period of time, they start getting 1,000 cock eyes. I want to talk about a very interesting sort of idea I had, which I'm not absolutely sure if it's true, but if NoFap actually makes your eyes look better in a sort of way. It has to do with eye contact too, and the way you look at women too, that makes them feel like your eyes look better, even though they don't really do aesthetically, but it's in the way you look at them. But there's a sort of light, a sort of spark in your eyes that maybe it goes away if you watch too much porn, or if you get aroused too much, or you come too much. A bit in the same kind of way that sluts lose the sort of light in their eyes. Maybe there's a sort of 1,000 vagina eyes for men. I don't really know, but I feel like I've just never been complimented about my eyes ever before. And it was just sort of weird to hear that. Just think, well, maybe abstaining from pornography makes my eyes look better, in a way. Just an idea. I just thought it was interesting. I also talked in that video about self-criticism. It's still low. Like, I don't criticize myself. I don't look at myself in the mirror and think, I'm too skinny, I'm too this, I'm too that. I don't really care anymore. So that's the same. It's still good. Like, I still have this good self-esteem that I was talking about. And I want to talk about the way I talk in my first couple of NoFap videos. I sound kind of doubtful, sort of hesitating in my first few NoFap videos. I talk, it's almost as if I doubt myself as I talk. And I don't really have that anymore. I have a more confident way of talking. I don't think this is really a result of NoFap. I think it's much a result of doing more vlogs and really just practicing my talking without really knowing that I've been practicing it, but you know, I've been sort of automatically practicing it as I've been doing more videos. Because, you know, that's what happens when you do something a lot, you get better at it. So I think I've gotten better at talking, really, since my very first NoFap videos, my very first vlogs. Day 30, I talked about this guy who masturbates twice a day. That he had Tinder. I also had Tinder. I have deleted Tinder now. The reason why I deleted Tinder was because I want to sort of challenge myself to start and try doing some real life Tinder. Now, I haven't really had the time to do it yet because I work every fucking day. But I want to start sort of pushing myself to try to talk more to female strangers in real life and just sort of try to practice my game a little bit. And really, because there's not really much in this world for a guy at my age that requires as much balls than talking to a complete stranger, a woman who's absolutely gorgeous, doing it while you're sober and doing it while you're alone. Okay, so not any friends around, you're not hanging out with any friends, you're completely sober, it's not in a club or anything like that, it's just some place random. And talk to a gorgeous woman. I want to do that once. Just to completely challenge myself to the fullest. And I feel like I have a sort of motivation and confidence required to do that now. I work every single day, so it's kind of hard. But yeah, that's that. Tinder deleted. And I wouldn't really recommend not having Tinder ever at all, because there was a good thing about Tinder that I sort of used it for as a tool. The thing I did about Tinder was I talked differently to every match I had. So with one girl I would be just completely dirty as fuck. I would just talk about sex straight away, just sext her to shit, right? And with another girl I would be, using some cheesy pickup line. With another girl I would just ask a really weird question, like, what's the most criminal thing you've done in your life? Or a question that I really like to ask, actually, because it does have a tendency to give you good answers, and that's, what is the most beautiful place you've ever been? To me, that's an interesting question to ask a girl. Where's the most beautiful place you've ever been? And so I just did this sort of thing where I used a different icebreaker for every girl, and I talked differently to every match that I had on Tinder, and it gave me a sort of practice, really. But I've deleted it now just to sort of challenge myself to not just be sucked into this Tinder app, and rather sort of open my eyes for the real world. And then 38, day 38, I talked about the flatline. It lasted from day 32 to day 39. It was very funny, actually, because the very day after I made that video, my libido got back like fucking dynamite. And I think I like beat my personal record for the amount of spontaneous erections in one day. So it was almost as if the erection that I did not have for 8 days just got back in one day. My dick just went up and down all day. So that was kind of funny. The babe calendar that I was just quickly mentioning is gone. I gave it to the guy that masturbates twice a day. I thought that was a good guy to give it to. The reason why I gave away my babe calendar was because I feel like it sort of lured me into this negative state of mind, this sort of pornographic view of the world. Because there's a kind of important part of NoFap, not really kind of, but it's a really important part of NoFap to abstain from pornography. Now, this babe calendar wasn't really pornography. I would call it soft porn. There wasn't really any sex involved, and it was only boobs and no vagina. But it was still, you know, kind of pornographic stuff in a way. The honesty that I have for women is still going, and I want to talk about a kind of interesting or kind of funny story about today. I have this girl, one of my colleagues, that I was talking about actually in day 53. This, you know, once she broke up with her boyfriend, she just suddenly turned into this trashy whore that sleeps around with guys even though she's probably pregnant, like whoopsie daisy. I talked about this in day 53. This is still the same girl. I believe I called her Janice in day 53. Today, she keeps talking about her fucking period. Whenever she's on her period, she talks about it to everyone. It's like, to me, a bleeding vagina is like one of the most disgusting things I can think of. So I don't want to hear it, right? I don't want to hear it while I work. It's really distracting. So what I did was I sort of made it backfire by just giving her a really rude comment. And this is something that a lot of women tend to be really offended by, or they act more offended by it than they actually are, because this is something that women do all the time. They exaggerate the fuck out. So she kept talking about her fucking bleeding vagina all day, and then she finally just shut up about it, and she was quite serious, you know, like she was focused on her work because she had a lot to do. And she and another waitress was waiting for my desserts to be ready. I was like plating desserts, and they were just waiting for it to be ready so that they can go with it. And then I told Janice that I smell that you are using a lot of perfume today. Is that because you're on your period? And I said it in a very cold way. I was like, because I was working, so I said it in a sort of fast, sort of chef way, like Gordon Ramsay would say or something. Like, I smell you have a lot of perfume today. Is that maybe because you're on your fucking period? That's just how I said it, right? And this other waitress, who's kind of like a feminist freak with blue hair, she was like completely shocked. She was like, "Did you just say that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just said it." You know what she's been saying all day? She keeps saying that she's bleeding out of her vag. Fucking ew, right? So I don't fucking care. And I just thought it was a kind of interesting thing, or a kind of funny thing, to just mention regarding that. Honesty to women, I still have it. It's full on, no mercy. And then day 49. Alright. Day 48 was just talking to a complete stranger. Nothing more to talk about that, really. Day 49. Weird dreams are still happening. They're very vivid. I can't remember any of them right now, but I just remember that I had a very vivid dream tonight. I just can't remember what it was. And I sometimes, like throughout the day, I get these weird deja vu feelings, and they happen more frequently than ever before. It's just this sort of split second, like, okay, this exact split second is completely similar to something that I've seen in a dream. It's the complete same, and just I sort of snap into this deja vu, and then it goes away. And it's sort of really weird, and it happens so much more frequently than ever before. So that's just, you know, kind of strange. Kind of spaced out, really, to be honest. Day 50. I talked about how I've been working so incredibly much lately, and it's really unfair, really, because I'm working much more than any of the other apprentices, and I don't really understand why that is. So I'm gonna talk to my chef about it I have told my sous chef, and she's also gonna contact my boss, and really just sort of talk it through and see if we can come up with something, because it's not fair that I should be working like twice as much as the other apprentices. I don't know if he's been doing something wrong about the working the staff schedule, or if it's like, I don't know what the fuck it is. So yeah, that's still going. I still haven't had any days off almost. It's ridiculous. And I'm gonna contact my chef. The energy that I was talking about in that video is still up. Not as much though, because the weather has been kind of bad lately, so that kind of brings me down. It's always a thing with the weather as well, always. I can't really just say that NoFap is the cause to everything. Of course, sunny weather is a great source of energy as well. That hasn't really been the case lately. It's been kind of bringing me down, but I still feel very hyped up. I still feel very energetic. And a kind of weird thing about it too is that I often feel tired, but I feel like I can still push even though I'm tired. I can just sort of tune my mind into, okay, focus, work hard. I know you're tired as fuck, but just push. And I can actually do it. So I can be really tired and still push, sort of. And that hasn't been as easy for me in the past. So that's a good effect of NoFap, I guess. And I'm doing this video right now as I'm talking right now. I'm tired as fuck, to be honest, and it doesn't seem like it, does it? So yeah, that's just the effect that you can see right in front of your eyes right now. Day 53. Yeah, my view on women. That's true. Okay. Yes, it's still the same, really. And I talked about her just now, talking about her period all the time. Her face looks gray. I don't know. She's starting to get those 1,000 cock eyes that I was talking about. It's starting to happen, and I can see it every day. She's getting paler and paler, and she's withering. I'm not even kidding. I know I sound kind of sarcastic saying that, but she's withering. Like, I can see it. Now, day 57, which is quite recently, actually, I was talking about temptations. The very funny thing is, right after I recorded that, I looked at my Twitter, and then I got one like on my NoFap Day 53 report, which was my view on women. This like was a attention like. It was a Twitter profile that wanted my attention. Her name was Longinova Filofea, and her Twitter profile was full of naked pictures of her, with links going to... Well, I didn't click on any of the links because I didn't want my... Sorry. I didn't want my computer to get AIDS. So I didn't click on any of the links, but she kept, you know, her Twitter wall was full of naked pictures of herself with links going to some sort of live Jasmine-ish website. So she was a whore, pretty much, and she wanted my attention. And it really just gave me the sense that, okay, now that I'm on this NoFap thing and I keep talking about it so much, people are probably just gonna think that, you know, I haven't masturbated for so long that to tempt me into this stupid live Jasmine slut roulette sort of bullshit, it's really easy, you know, it's really easy. And they can easily just get me into this because I'm so desperate right now. I mean, I haven't blown a load for 60 days. Like, I'm totally gonna click on that shit and jerk off to her phony tits on a computer screen. Of course I'm. No. I'm not. I'm absolutely not. I'm less likely to do that than any guy that still is watching porn. I am less likely to do that than anyone else who's watching porn every day. So no, that's not working, and I'm still resisting temptations. And that's really fucking 26 minutes. Alright. I'm sorry about that. It was a really fucking long video. I tried to talk fast in this one. I really tried. I just really wanted to clear everything off in this one video, because it's day 60, and like I've been doing so many videos so far. This is now on this list 8, and it's +1 because I didn't mention anything about 48. So 9 videos so far. If you include this one, it's 10. Wow, it's starting to be a lot of NoFap videos on my channel. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.